What is up, guys, and welcome to my first ever professional video review. My name is Stefan and I'm a dentist and a professional photographer from Romania, and today I want to share some thoughts with you about Sylvia and the awesome work she does on My Style 5. Right off the back, I have to tell you I'm both excited and a bit nervous because I know I'm gonna film this in one take, so I hope to God I don't mess it up too badly, and I'm actually relying on your jump cuts and your editing skills, Sylvia. Thank you. And I also want to apologize about the bad English that may occur during the video, because I know for a fact that when I'm anxious I tend to mix up a few words, so there might be a few misplaced sentences and some phrases, so bear with me. Alright, so let's get to it. A few days ago, my family brought home a specific item that I truly think is the perfect subject for such a video review. And that specific item is this. Alright, so I didn't open it yet, so everything that's gonna come out of my mouth, the good or maybe the bad, is gonna be my honest feedback to your work, Sylvia. Alright, so let's open this. I don't want to break the corners. Alright. So, firstly, as a visual creator myself, I realize, and I can't emphasize this enough, the first glimpse of an item, the first look is often the most important for most customers, or at least for most of my customers and friends and clients and so on and so forth. So right off the back, I really dig the mood that is present in the book and the composition of the photos you've chosen, so great work on that. Alright, so there's a short description on the back. I'm sure you're gonna read it yourself and you're gonna order this. Alright, so let's get to it. Oh my god, as you can see, there are a lot of pages, so I was right about filming this review with this item because it truly summarizes the awesome work that she does on her Instagram and her YouTube channel. So yeah, there's actually a lot of visual and written information, just as I very briefly browse through all the content. And for all of you that haven't written your graduation essay, your graduation paper, your diploma, it's actually hard to create a story that is more than 30 or 40 pages, 30 or 40 pages long. Alright, so thumbs up for the quantity. Alright, so let's have a few look from the first pages. Alright, I want to say something that is very important for me as a photographer. It's very subjective, I know. There are a lot of you guys that won't agree with me, but I don't specifically like that glossy finish on the magazines and the books, the photography books that we can find in bookshops and in stores, and I really love that matte finish, not the glossy one. So I really dig the matte finish on this particular book. So A+ on the matte finish of the printing. All right. Secondly, it's very important, very important for a book that actually teaches you something, both in writing and visually, to have a user-friendly font. And I can honestly say that it's very easy to go back and forth from the photos and the writing, and again the photos and again the writing. So very good job on finding a balance between the fonts you use and the composition and the overall mood of the pictures you incorporated in this. Alright, so talked about the print, talked about the cover. I also want to talk about the contents, the table of contents. So let me just search for the table. Alright, search for the table of contents. Alright, so oh my god, there are such... I'm a guy, okay? I'm a guy. I don't usually read this stuff. I don't usually follow the type of content that Sylvia creates. But reading the contents on the final pages that are kind of structured in some simply written steps you have to take in order to find your personal style, I actually find that useful, a guy being a guy, so thumbs up for that. Alright, so let me... I saw lesson 1 somewhere, I think. Oh, okay, lesson 1, understanding your proportions. Alright, so I really like that it's structured. It's not like, I don't know, an abundance of photos and quick tips and tricks and Pinterest quotes and so on and so forth. It's actually a structured book that teaches you how to get from point A to point B, even though the road from point A to point B is something subjective for every single customer out there. When I'm gonna read this book, I'm gonna understand something. When you're gonna read this book, you're gonna understand something else. What I love about the overall content, not strictly related to the content in the book, is that Sylvia manages to go deeply into the emotional part of choosing your preferred, your own style. All right, so that actually means a lot for people that are struggling and people that are at the beginning of their visual career. All right, so oh god, there are a lot of I don't know how to say this, a lot of tutorial pictures that I know for a fact, I know myself, that are very hard to plan and to take, especially if you're taking them yourself. And I know that most of her work she does is by using a tripod and by filming herself, so thumbs up for that. Big thumbs up for that. Big thumbs up for the smiles I see here and the facial expressions. Alright, so let me go to... oh, so there's... so there are a few quick tips and tricks at the end of each lesson. So that's actually awesome, and I actually dig the fact that you took into consideration the general rule of thirds, the golden ratio that I learned about in university and in my career as a photographer. So apparently it's a very important fact that you must consider when choosing your personal style. And also, I really like that personal style isn't limited about clothing or fashion. It's about a summary of who you are. Okay, sure, clothing, accessories, shoes, how you talk, how you walk is also important. Alright, so, oh my god, there are a lot of pages here, so I don't want to make an hour-long review, just a quick browse through all the work. And also I know for a fact that all the pictures you're gonna see in here and on her channel are her own work, so big thumbs up for that. And oh, facial shapes. Facial shapes. Okay, heart face shape. Cool. So there's, all right. So there's a lot of information about the different body types we have, the different facial types we have. So this is quite all right. So this is lesson 1. All right. So I'm actually gonna read this, even though I'm a guy, because I find it quite educational. Medically wise, it's quite educational. So thumbs up for the information, the raw information in this. All right. So other things like the composition in the photos she has chosen to explain. The composition is A+. A+ on all the portraits, on all the detailed shots, on all the macro shots. I know for a fact that she doesn't use fancy equipment, fancy studio equipment, and so on and so forth. So the fact that she got to build a course like this, a masterclass, I know for a fact that she has a course on Udemy. Check it out. All right, so there's some color science in here. All right, so it's the whole Shazam in personal style. Speaking of personal style, I don't think that people understand the concept of choosing your own personal style. Technically, your own personal style reflects your personality, so it's not solely related to how you dress. All right, so I think she has a video that it's called I think debunking the 5 myths, the 5 most insidious myths in women's choosing their style, or something like that. I watched the video today, and all the information there was on point and was a perfect balance between human psychology, fashion, and visual and color science. So she really does know her stuff, and I'm not saying this because she's my cousin, because yeah, sure, she's my cousin, but I know that if I'm gonna be subjective, this review sure might help you, but I also wish that this review would help her as well. And all the video creators out there, all the visual creators out there know that the best feedback is the constructive one, is the negative one. All right, so far I don't have anything bad to say, absolutely anything bad to say about this. So there's a lot. Okay, so there's wardrobe, there's body types. Lesson 2, I think, was about color science. Okay, finding your colors, selecting your style inspiration sources, style inspiration in general. I cannot emphasize this enough to you or to my students from my photography course. Finding a mentor, finding inspiration is the first step in doing anything in your life, in any domain. So when I started out, I think about 8 years ago in photography, I browsed a lot on Instagram, and I found some impossible shots that I for sure thought they were photoshopped, they were overly post-processed, and so on and so forth. And when I started to learn the basics, the theory in photography, I realized that, alright, so I actually know how these awesome photos were taken, and I actually know that Photoshop wasn't the program that they used to edit the final shots. So the fact that I wanted to reach that photo, to create that photo myself, taught me a lot. So finding inspiration, finding a model for you to follow is one of the best ways to get started in anything. All right. So I might go. I'm a bit anxious, so I might go full on Russian Romanian accent, but I'll try to not get there. So selecting your style. All right. So she actually teaches you how to search on Pinterest and Instagram, which by the way are the programs that I also suggest to my students to use when doing a client photo shoot, a portrait session, or a real estate session, because it's very important for me as a photographer to know what are the client's expectations before we talk about the theme, before we talk about the possibilities, before we talk about the limitations of the gear we have available. So yeah, this is actually a great topic to talk about in a book that's supposed to teach you how to find your own personal style. So thumbs up for that topic. Okay, so top 100 personal style inspiration sources. I think I have found a bad thing. I don't see anywhere a number on the pages, so if the pages were numbered, I think it would have been easier for you to see more closely what I'm looking at, because I didn't get to build a setup that can simultaneously record how I'm browsing through the book, because I'm all over the place, so I'm gonna browse like this, so I thought, alright, so I'm gonna talk in general about the work that Sylvia does. Right, so top 100 personal style inspiration quotes. She actually listed Instagram accounts and Pinterest accounts that you should follow in order to gain access to the right content to achieve your goals. So I honestly think I'm gonna incorporate this in my own book when I'm gonna write it. So that's actually a very good idea for us beginners in choosing our own style to begin with. Alright, so building my own definition. This is lesson 5, building our own definition. So there's a lot of information here. I just browsing through this, even though I'm a guy, made me curious about the principles. About the titles are catchy, alright? The titles are indeed catchy, even for a guy, so that's kind of important. And speaking of this, I know how much hard work you have put in this, even though we haven't talked in the past few months, and actually in the past few years we didn't talk that much. I know how much you work for your channels. I know how much you work for this information you decided to present to your viewers, and I would actually love to see some guy contents on your channel as well. I know it would mess up your grid, I know it would mess up your whole theme and so on and so forth, but I also know for a fact that you have a good looking husband, so I'm sure he won't mind if you I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 days a month would dress him up nicely, and maybe write something about men's fashion and men's style, because I really do believe you have all the information necessary to teach us guys how to choose our own style. So sure, there's not a lot of guys who would actually read this book or a book on style and so on and so forth, but from a professional photographer's point of view, I would love to recommend to my clients, to my professional model clients, to read something like this before we start a complex project with a series of photo shoots. And the fact that I actually know a lot of girls, a lot of my friends who are struggling in finding their perfect smile, finding their perfect outfit. I would often get messages like, I'm so excited about the photo shoot tomorrow, what should I wear? Or on site, okay Stefan, tell me how to smile. Alright, I can't tell you how to smile, because if I'm gonna tell you what to wear and how to smile, then the photograph will be fake. The whole idea, the whole theme will be fake. We are gathered here today to create something real. So I honestly think that all the work on Sylvia's channels and all the raw information, the raw and visual information you can find in this book helps you create that real feel to even your life, to your domain, to your profession, because at the end of the day, you're not supposed to, I don't know, wish that you look like a Victoria's Secret model, or you look like Brad Pitt or George Clooney when you're gonna be 70. I don't know. That's not the goal. The goal, in my opinion, is to make the people that you interact with feel like they are interacting with George Clooney, with Brad Pitt, with a Victoria's Secret model. Okay? So the best smile I can ask for from my, I don't know, amateur models to my professional models is their own smile, because that's the beauty. The beauty is in your personal style of smiling, of dressing up, of talking, of walking, of doing sports. Alright, so I actually did a photo shoot for my best friend about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, maybe even longer, and he was running around around our block, and I wanted to do some panning shots, and he asked me, alright, how do you want me to run? And I flinched a bit. Okay, just do your thing, just run and let me worry about how fast you're running, how slow you're running, and so on and so forth. Alright, so the natural look is the beauty. So until you are able to find your style, your natural look, I really suggest you would follow people that create content like my Style 5. Alright? And let's say you don't like Sylvia's content. She actually listed a lot of people that do the same stuff as she does, and maybe they do it better. So that, in my opinion, is a great thumbs up for any creator out there, to shout out to all the other creators in the community and all the other teachers that can make a significant change in your life. Alright, so I can talk all day about all the content that I'm reading here, about all the sketches, all the, come on, focus, alright, all the sketches, or all the lists, or all the graphics in this. So yeah, big thumbs up. I know how hard you're working at your usual day job. I know how much you have worked to create your accounts, but I actually wasn't expecting to find this much information, this much, I don't know, real and useful information, even for a guy, in a book. So I don't know, just from me to you, hats down. I actually thought it was a more like magazine type, more like, okay, look at these 5 awesome pictures, these 5 perfectly composed pictures with me dressed up nicely, and look how easy it is to, I don't know, look nice in designer clothing and how to look nice in perfect lighting and perfect weather conditions. No, it's actually very intuitive and very easy to understand. So yeah, big thumbs up for you, Sylvia. I'm really looking forward to see what other great things you're gonna be up to in 2021. Alright, so I hope you found this useful. I hope I didn't babble too much. I hope I covered all the stuff that you needed to know to at least take a look at her channels, especially if you're a girl that sometime in your life would like, I don't know, a photo shoot, would like to have nice pictures, because you're gonna make your photographer's life 100 times easier if you're gonna make this trip, this road to finding your personal style. So yeah, big thumbs up to my Style 5.